Hey YouTube, Qualia here, bringing you all my Cardfight Vanguard Skyruler deck profile. This is the Stoicheia deck from the Super Brave Detonation Booster set, one of the newer decks from the Youth Quake series, focusing on a very Murakumo playstyle for standard format in the form of the Stoicheia units that we run in the deck. So acting like ninjas to call out multiple units, and then the additional stand power that our Vanguard can provide, and also benefiting from having more and more cards in your drop zone for you to have for additional card effects. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. We'll go ahead and start off with the ride deck. Starting off, we have the energy generator with our starter being Enos the Bouncer. When rode upon, if you went second, draw a card. Our grade 1 is Jagra the Fighter. When rode upon by Alcor the Smasher, discard a card from your hand and search and reveal grade 3 card with Skyruler and its card name from your ride deck. Search your deck for up to 6K or less grade 1 without Sentinel, call to rearguard and shuffle the deck. So it basically gives you the search power for some of our other units to call out. And our grade 2 being Alcor the Smasher. When rode upon by a grade 3 with Skyruler and its card name, Soul Blast 1. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 card from among them, discard it, and shuffle the deck. Choose a grade 2 or greater unit from your drop and put it into the hand. So giving you more setup with the grade 2 when riding onto our grade 3 Belger the Skyruler, along with the copy we run in the ride deck. We're also running 3 additional copies in the main deck also. During your turn, if your drop has 10 or more cards, this unit gets plus 5,000 power. If it has 20 or more, it gets plus 15,000 power instead of plus 5. So just a potential 28k unit. And on the Vanguard, once per turn, you can counterblast 1, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, choose a card from among them, put it in the hand, and discard the rest. So it gives you more of that setup for the drop zone. And on Vanguard, once per turn, at the end of the battle, this unit attack to Vanguard, counterblast 1, and perform one of the following. Choose a column and stand all your rear guards in that column. Or if your opponent's Vanguard's grade 3 or greater and your drop has 15 or more cards, stand all of your rear guards. So it's the added pressure for the 5 attacks that you can perform in one turn thanks to this unit. It just definitely eats up counterblast, so you have to know when to use the setup for the drop zone in tandem with the restand power, since they both require counterblasts. We're also running for the grade 2s 4 copies of Thruster Vixen. With this card, when it's placed on rearguard other than by a unit's card ability, retire a rearguard with a different card name from this unit. Search your deck for up to 1 unit card with this card for the setup. For up to 1 card with the same card name as this unit, call it to rearguard, and if you search your deck, shuffle the deck. So it just gives you more search power, searching your deck or drop. And on rearguard at the beginning of your battle phase, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard Skyrule, discard the top card of your deck, and until the end of your opponent's next turn, this unit gets plus 5 power, shield, and if your drop has 15 or more, it gets an additional plus 5 and power, making it a plus 10 boost, and then a potential 15k guard. But the main play is obviously for the free cost setup of just being able to discard the top card of your deck. So just having to enter into the battle phase to be able to do so. So if you have multiples of this rear guard, you'll be sending 2 cards off the top of your deck just thanks to this card, and then just the retire power to search for an additional unit to make use of. We're also running the 4 copies of Heavy Spike Grizzly. During your turn on rearguard, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Skyruler and its card name and your drop is 10 or more cards, it gets boost and plus 5,000. So just another useful grade 2 to be able to call and set up to provide potential boosts to other grade 2 units. And then it can also be a potential retire power to set up for your other cards like Thruster Vixen to be able to call out. Also 3 copies of our Love Binding Maiden Margaret for the added recycle power for drawing in the deck as well, and then using that Soul Blast power, and then being able to have a restriction on standing and intercepting for your opponent's other cards when it's placed on the rearguard circle. We're also running the grade 1 lineup of 4 copies of Follower Rabbits. It is a 5k grade 1, so one of the potential cards that you can search off of the ride line. During your turn on rearguard, this unit gets plus 1,000 for each of your rearguards with the same card name as this unit. So this is where the Murakumo playstyle comes in, because then the more this power increases depends on the some number of same units with this card. This cost can be played with a counterblast 1 and discard a card from your hand. And if you do, search your deck for a total of up to 3 follower rabbits instead of up to 1. When this unit's placed on rearguard, you can discard up to 1 card from the top of your deck. Choose a grade 3 card with Skyruler and its card name from your ride deck, and you may reveal it. Or if you have a grade 3 or grade Vanguard with Skyruler and its card name, discard a card from your hand. Search your deck or drop up to 1 follower rabbit card. Call it to rearguard, search your deck, shuffle the deck. So this can give you the added search power, or you can go for the smaller cost setup depending on how many follower rabbits you already have. But the use of that counterblast can just get you more and more rearguard setup using this one grade 1 alone to be able to do so. And also the 3 copies of Practiced Mustela. When it's put on guard circle, if you have a grade 3 or grade Vanguard with Skyruler and its card name, Soul Blast 1, this unit gets +5 shield to the end of the battle. If your drop has 15 or more, it gets +15 instead of +5. So a 20k guard all on its own, just for more defensive plays that we use in the deck with this card combined as well. We're also running the 4 copies of the Harvest Elf. When it's placed on rearguard from hand, other than during the battle phase, Soul Blast 1, call a plant token to rearguard, and from the back row rearguard, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit gets +5,000 power. And at the end of the battle, this unit boosted, retire 2 rearguards in the same column as this unit, and draw a card. So it gives you more retire power to make room for additional rearguards to be able to call out, but also being able to just set up more rearguards in the drop zone for you to use in exchange for draw power as well. And then also the Sentinel lineup, being the Elementaria Sanctitude and the 3 copies of Custodial Dragon to finish the grade 1 count as well. With our orders that we run in the deck, being the 4 copies of In the Forest, Flourishing in Silver White. We run a good number of orders just because they can help to set up numbers in the drop zone without having to actually call out rearguards as well. Choose one of your rearguards and it gets +5,000 to the end of turn for each of your grade 1 or less rearguards. So just with the more additional units for the follower rabbits that we run, you can have one of them get additional power for each one of your grade 1 or less rearguards. So if you have all your follower rabbits set up, you can use the In the Forest Flourishing in Silver White as an added power bonus to each one of those cards on the rearguard circles. And then also the 1 copy of Gradius Cordell, so we have an additional Persona Ride option in the deck as well to be able to then use for the added pressure for our Vanguard and additional draw power. And then for the trigger lineup, we're going with the 7 critical, just for the added guaranteed restand power that we have for our rearguards to then be able to have a potential critical if we know the Vanguard attack is not going to hit. The 4 draw triggers, I have the 1 Serene Maiden Lena just to act as a placeholder to definitely run 4 of this card just because it is a 5k shield on top of the other setup. And then the 4 copies of Battle Siren Dorcia for just the generic heal to run for the guaranteed 15k power. And then Spiritual King of Ignition, Valnut, for the overtrigger of choice, just for the rearguard standing power again. Or at the beginning of the battle with this card, choose one of your stood rearguards and it gets the attack restand power as well to then be able to restand again, or draw power if you did not choose a rearguard unit. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. And once again, as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kira Qualia out.